Livingston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya! Creature features and all creatures and all creatures, and the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. 'Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Gonna get you tonight.
Livingston, whatever happened to Aunt Alice? Whatever happened to Aunt Alice? Yes, I know that. However, it would be culturally appropriate before telling one the ending of a particular film if you were to wave your arms about and shout, spoiler alert, as if someone's life was in danger. Good evening and welcome to Creature Features. The well-dressed fuss budget to this side is my merry houseman, Mr. Livingston. The coquettish catastrophe to this side would be the adorable Miss Tangela, and I, dear friends at home, am your movie host and bon vivant, Vincent Van Dahl. As you've likely gathered, tonight's film is Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice from 1969. This is a rather nice film. No, really. It's well written, brilliantly acted, and beautifully filmed. This movie is the red-headed stepchild of the film Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, one of the many psycho-biddy films that emerged from that era. Livingston particularly enjoys these types of films because he thinks all biddies happen to be hot.
I most certainly do not.
Well, you're most certainly rather keen for that delightful woman of a certain age who works in the produce department of the Bodega Bay Whole Food store, aren't you? I'll have you know that here in the kitchen of the Poulter Mansion, I have a large sub-zero fridge packed with unneeded greens and legumes purchased by Romeo over here due to his numerous trips to that store to inspect her yams and squeeze her tomatoes.
Oh, nonsense.
Tangela opines that she finds this to be acceptable behavior as the continuous supply of cassava melons makes for excellent ammunition for her trebuchet. Such a waste of perfectly delicious fruit. Onward. Joining us for this fabulous film will be our old friend and fellow horror host, Mr. Lobo. He came back out to the Golden State to host a few events and has agreed to come onto our show to watch this splendid movie with us. He'll tell us tales from the East Coast, offer his opinions on all things horror, chime in about tonight's film, and perhaps even explain to us in great detail how mental health experts diagnose the demented condition which compels a grown man to carry on long conversations with a potted plant. So don't go away, for it is to be another night of Psycho Biddy Fright, right here on Creature Features! You really should wash those things now and then. Stay tuned.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Micromat, making products that keep your Macintosh running at its best.
Welcome to that show we do. What's it called again?
Creature something?
Creature
something. Yes,
Creature
definitely creature.
from the Blue Lagoon.
Yes.
Welcome to Creature Features. We got Mr. Lobo tonight. You know, I've been waiting for months. No,
What are you
years.
waiting for?
For you to
Yes?
sit in that chair
It's quite
without your
comfortable.
bloody shrub.
You know, Miss Mittens is very fond of you. She used to buy your records back in the day.
You know, I would like to play this psychological game with you as well. but I have to do the introduction
All
first.
right, do it.
Which is welcome to our show tonight. We've got a wonderful guest, a wonderful film. Whatever happened to Aunt Alice? You said you've seen some of this, but not all.
I've seen it years ago, and I saw a little bit of it tonight, and I'm excited about it.
It's wonderful. It's a Psycho Biddy film.
Psycho Biddy, I like
Psycho
that.
Biddy.
So not Psycho Billy,
No.
Psycho Biddy.
Biddy, right?
Because it has a lot of older ladies.
Crazy old lady
old
movie
lady?
is how it's defined
That's
in
the
Wikipedia.
category. I see. Crazy. Call the Grambulance.
I like that. No. So Biddy, I looked up this word today
Yes.
to see what this is all about. If it's
Biddy.
offensive, because I did not want to offend.
So I don't go home
Biddy.
and call my grandparents Biddies.
Oh,
right?
by all means, do so.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So the origin of the name is Biddy used to mean a chicken.
Oh.
Right. So an old Biddy would be like an old chicken, like an old hen.
Old hen.
And, they pluck and they make noises and,
Right. Cluck around.
cluck,
and,
cluck. Right,
yeah.
right. So it's
Cut you
more
out of their
a-
inheritance.
It's a type of parlay is really what it is.
Put arsenic in your tea. Things that chickens do.
No, I was afraid it was meant like bidet.
Oh.
Like, something
yeah.
related to a bidet.
Right.
That would not be good.
Yeah, that would be a washout.
Right. So how have you been?
I've been
Long
doing
time.
quite well. I'm in Pennsylvania now, but it's very wonderful.
You've been in Pennsylvania for years. You cannot say now anymore.
I guess I can't.
You're in California now.
I
but
am in California
Typically,
now.
you're in Pennsylvania.
That's right. I'm not in Pennsylvania.
You're
I'm
near-
here at the Poulter Mansion.
You're near
in
the
beautiful
Amish, are you
Bodega.
not?
I am.
You hang out with the Amish?
I do. Sometimes when my hair is extra bowl-like and I let my beard grow out, I build a barn.
I adore the Amish.
It's wonderful because I get to see horses. Not everybody gets stuck behind a horse in traffic.
Well, you're going to see plenty of horses and goats while you're here.
I did see some. I think
Tangela,
Tangela was riding a goat
She
earlier.
collects. She collects
Yeah.
these things. Yeah. She takes good care of them as well. But no, she collects. So. All right. What do you say we start this film,
I'm all for it.
and then when we come back, you're going to tell us everything.
I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you
Everything.
the dig dirt. It's going to be we're going to be like a couple of old biddies,
And it's not a bidet. It's old
No.
biddies. Old bidets.
or not bidet, or bidets. You can exchange money. All bets are off. All biddies are off.
All biddies.
And
Bidets.
it's
All right.
time to go.
We're getting silly.
Already.
All right. Off we go. Bye.
This brief moment of tranquility has been brought to you by Nightscape. Relax and sleep better every single night with this and other videos from our free YouTube channel. Learn more by visiting nightscape.co today.
I think I hear rain.
It just might be a million birds making poopy on your mansion.
We have birds here in Bodega Bay.
Angry ones.
Angry birds? They should make a video game.
They should make a movie. Alfred Hitchcock should come and make a movie.
I think he should, but he's dead.
Oh, that's a shame.
No, but I think they should make a video game called Angry Birds.
That's a really good idea. Maybe we
There's
could
a
get
couple.
some birds to invest in that. They're already making deposits on your property.
This is Mr. Lobo.
Yes, hello.
Now, he is a seasoned horror host, unlike me, who's, what would you call me, like an intermediate?
At least, if I'm seasoned, then maybe you're lightly spicy, maybe?
No, I'm like an apprentice.
An apprentice?
An apprentice horror host.
I think at this point you probably have done more shows than I've done. You guys are so
I don't think so. You've been doing this for like 20 years, right? 30 years.
We're doing it in slow motion, man, compared to what you guys are doing.
Well,
yeah.
No, well, I've just got this house. I've got to do something with it.
It's a beautiful place. I get lost in here every time I come here.
Well, that's the point.
I mean, why? I don't understand. Livingston doesn't even meet me at the door. The doors just sort of creaks open, and I just sort of wander around. And
that's Tangela behind the door. Just look behind the door. It's Tangela.
Tangela's there because I never see her. I'm just wandering around
she won't
the
speak to
mansion
you.
for hours. What?
She won't speak to you for some reason.
I don't. It's really weird.
Yeah.
She reminds me of
speak
Miss
to you.
Mittens a little bit. In a lot of ways.
There you go with the plant again. So, in case you don't know, Mr.
Okay.
Lobo is a horror host.
Yes.
He has his own show called
Cinema Insomnia.
Cinema
and we've been doing
Insomnia.
it for 20 or so years now.
Right. It's wonderfully done.
We
It's
started at an ABC.
No, let me say
affiliate.
it.
Okay.
I want to describe your show for you.
go ahead.
It is a wonderful show. It's got the most unusual things I've ever seen. No. This man should be like sitting in Svenguli's seat.
Oh no.
He has so much talent, and you still
That's a
toil in
kind-
obscurity like us.
Talent is a liability. You should know that by
Is
now.
that what it is?
Being in the music industry.
I had no talent in the music industry. I just had a bit of luck, like 2 pieces of luck.
2 pieces. That's all you need. That's all you need.
It was all the Google stock that did it for me. I made no money in music. I made enough to buy Google stock. At the time I did not know it was a computer company.
So you're the Googler.
No, I
Googled
thought I was.
me this,
I thought I was
Batman.
purchasing stocks in a peanut butter company. No,
Yeah,
I called.
That's
I-
Goober. That's Goober.
No.
not
It's
Google.
called Kugel,
Oh, Google.
and I failed to enunciate the K.
Oh, and then you got the Google
And
stock instead?
my broker bought all this Google stock, and I'm looking at him, and what am I going to do with a bloody computer company?
Well, be
I guess it paid off a little
Be
bit.
careful that Tangela doesn't put any arsenic in your old lace when you're not looking.
No, she's not in my will.
Oh.
I will
Oh.
not put her in my will.
Okay.
All right, so the movie, so far, a woman dies.
It's very sad.
One
They
woman.
clocked her. That's rock and roll right there. Boom.
Right,
You know, I mean, that business deal went in the hole for sure.
Tell me this, if you share this sentiment.
Yes.
Films made in the desert,
Yes.
there's just something bright and wonderful about them.
Instant production value.
Right.
You always have good lighting.
Right.
You always have great sound.
Right.
So
And
probably-
sand.
and sand
You
and
have
no
sand.
permits. Probably usually no permits. You got no one bothering you. So I
Right,
think it's
because-
just like you get instant production value. It makes everything look like $1 million because nothing can live in the desert. So it's exotic to everyone.
That's
who's
true.
Everyone who's in a movie
Right.
theater is far from the desert. So they're like,
Right.
wow, this is exotic. I love this.
That's the most compelling explanation I've ever heard. It is. No, I never understood why I liked it so much. All right, I'm going to signal we're going to get back to the film.
Absolutely.
And when we do that, we're going to find out what happens next, right?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
All right, off we go back to whatever happened to Aunt Alice. Don't go away. It's a good movie. Whatever happened to Mr. Lobo? She did not kill him, did she?
He went to the loo.
Ah, he's off to the loo. So this is a good time for us to do some mail because people send us email
Occasionally.
and we fail to read our email. So we're going to rectify that tonight, are we not?
Yes.
All right, here we go. How about the first email from Mr. Livingston?
No, it's not from me. It's from Topeka, Kansas.
It's from Keith Renner
Indeed.
in Topeka, Kansas. He goes, hello from Oz, which means not like Australia, but the Wizard of Oz land. Well, you saw the Wizard of Oz, right?
Several times.
This man was born without a humor bone. We should all contribute to having a donor provide one. Or not. I don't know. Be quiet. Greetings from Topeka, Kansas. I've been watching episodes on YouTube. I wanted to write to tell you how much I enjoy your talented ensemble cast. There we are. We're actors again. We're a cast.
We're a cast.
I wish he'd put an E after it and it'd be like a cast of like levels. No? All right.
Only in India.
Only in India. The incredibly cute and dangerous Tangela, the tall, handsome, and dignified Mr. Livingston, and Vince. All right. I really do think you all complement each other, despite only two of you ever speaking. In fact, I like you all so much, I sometimes find myself fast-forwarding through the real stinkeroo movies to get to your interaction and interview segments. You know, we just started doing a new thing where we post Lite episodes on YouTube, which is just all this. It's not the movie. So if you want to do as Keith does, where he flies through the movie, you could just watch the Lite version of the episode, right?
Yes.
He has no idea what I'm talking about. Now, there's some people, they don't watch the movie. They just watch the show for us.
Really?
So we provide a special new version. We started this about 3-4 weeks ago, where we post the episode on YouTube without the movie. It's light. It's like Diet Coke, but better. All right. If you're able, please show the 1963 Italian terror trilogy, Black Sabbath. All 3 stories are good, but the one with the woman who returns from the dead to exact revenge upon the lady who stole her ring is really creepy. Either way, keep up the good work. Oh, and if you're ever hard up for a guest and don't mind flying me out from Kansas, I'm pretty interesting. Keith Renner. Are we ever hard up for guests?
No.
No. You know, if you live down the road like John Provost, then you would be perfect because we can call you when a guest does not show up. But seeing that we'd have to fly you out from Kansas, that's requires some planning, does it not?
Logistics.
But if we ever move to Kansas, we'll keep you in mind, Keith. Next up, Mr. Livingston.
Nan Drinkard.
You said that with a face.
What kind of face?
You opined upon her name, Nan Drinkard. You know, that's a noble name in Ireland. It is. No. There was a prince named Drinkard in Ireland.
There will be letters.
He doesn't know anything about English history or Irish history. He's German, so that's why he talks like that. You'd think he'd know like lots of history of Europe, but he does not. All right, subject heights. All right. We love your show. It is silly and wonderful. We watch you daily. We do a show weekly. How do they watch us daily?
Past shows.
Oh,
YouTube.
They binge watch us.
Binge
in
watch.
a sense. All right. Tangella looks very tiny, and we know that Mr. Livingston is very tall. How tall is Vincent? How tall am I? No, I have to do it in American. So in American, I would be 5'11", right?
I believe that's correct.
5'11". I don't want to ruin the magic. I'm just curious. Thank you for creating such an awesome show. Well, thank you for watching, Nan. And do let your ancestor, the prince, know I send my regards. Next up.
Antonio Barrow.
Antonio whom?
Barrow.
Yeah, he's always saying names in the accent. I'm going to say the English version. Antonio Barrow. 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 Creature Features from the mid-'60s. Greetings to all at Creature Features. I remember back in the mid-'60s in Australia watching Creature Features on free-to-air TV on Channel 10 in Sydney, hosted by Deadly Ernest. There was a Creature Features in Australia. I never knew this. No, well, we get so many Australian viewers, I presume that there was nothing of the kind down there. And apparently, Deadly Ernest, a man that was great. Then many years later, I remember watching Elvira, right? She's from here. Not sure what the show was called then. I think it was just called Elvira, right? Elvira's Macabre. Words to that effect. Not sure what the show was called. Forward many years, I come across you on YouTube channel and remember the past. Oh, yeah. Anyway, now 62 years old, and with all the movies you've shown and how much I enjoy them, have come across a movie trailer through another blogger I sub to called Werewolves on Wheels. Any chance of showing that? Claimed to be the most stupid motorcycle movie ever made. Oh, we have to get this film. Yes. No, we have to get this. If it's the most stupid motorcycle movie ever made, I want to show it. So I'm on your side, sir. Their words, regards, and all the best to cast and crew, Antonia. Well, thanks for writing, Antonia. Hope everything's nice in, I assume, Australia, right? At least you used to live there. Last one?
Last one.
Last but not least.
From Elizabeth LaRue.
Elizabeth LaRue. She's Française. She speaks the Humma language.
Humma.
That's what they call it. That's what they call it here. I call it French. All right, new and huge fan is the subject of this message. She goes, "Hi, my name is Beth, and I love your show. My dad introduced me to it one night when we were sitting on the couch, and he was like, 'Beth, there's a show I know you'd love called Creature Features on YouTube.' So I checked it out, and I instantly fell in love with all of you. Especially Tangela is my favorite. Oh, she gives me such strong Sherry Moon zombie vibes. You know, I've heard this more than once. Who in God's name is Sherry Moon?
I have no idea.
And is she an actual zombie, or does she just portray one? You know who this person is. And are you like dressing like her? What's the dealio? All right. So she's not Sherry Moon. She's Tangela, but I get what you're saying. Let's see. She's gorgeous. I love her, and I wish you all the best with your show. I hope you have a long career and keep up the great work. Your friend Beth. P.S. And may I say to you guys, can be strong Elvira, Svengoolie, and Joe Bob vibes, and I love them all as well. What does that mean? I don't understand. And may I say to you guys, you can be strong like Elvira, Svengoolie, and okay, no, we are. I think no, not at all. Well, those people make money. We make irritations. No,
Irritations,
we create problems for local television stations. That's all we do. You know, Coffee was canceled because of us. I have no doubt. Coffee was canceled. It wasn't just our show. No, it wasn't not his fault. No, it was the time we showed the film, and there was that microsecond of boobage. Yes, no, we showed a film, and there was like one split moment. No, and the FCC closed them down. This is my theory. I think I'm right.
That was it, fortunately.
All right. Anyways, that's it for mail. If you'd like to send us email of your own, send it to the email address you see appearing over here. Or if you'd like to send a package, which we'll do those next week, right?
Yes.
If you'd like to send us a package in the mail by post, use the address you see right here. We'll be back soon with Mr. Lobo, but first we're going to figure out whatever happened to Aunt Alice right now. See you soon. Who does your hair?
Miss Mittens does my hair. Yeah.
Does she do mine?
She can give you a trim, you know. She does it with the hedge clippers, so it's a little scary sometimes. But I think she'd do you up good.
Welcome back to the show. We're back.
Hi.
We're back. We have people watching.
Yes.
We are watching Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice. If you're just joining us, they should probably go home, right? I mean, it's too late, right?
Yeah, if you're just joining us, you missed out the best.
The best part. I mean,
go ask Alice. Oh, sorry.
No, it's not Go Ask Alice. It's Whatever Happened to Aunt.
Whatever happened to Aunt Alice.
Now, do you find this film is similar to Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
Well, let me tell you, this is actually part of a trilogy. It was all
a trilogy.
Yes, exactly. There was Whatever Happened, made by the same people.
Right.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Right.
Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Oh, that's right.
And then Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice. So this is like the third. You know, the third one's always personal, right?
Well, is it?
I think so. Or is the second one's personal?
I don't know.
The third one's the revenge. Okay, which one do they go to space?
I don't know. Psycho Biddies in space.
Psycho Biddies in, they gotta go to the hood first, right?
The hood.
Psycho Biddies in the hood, and then Psycho Biddies in space. So yeah.
I never studied film theory.
You know, we've got all these birds making deposits. They could invest. We could do a fourth and a fifth. It could be a Biddyverse. We could have a whole.
A Biddyverse.
Yeah, you know.
That sounds almost pornographic. I don't think we should go down that road.
You know, a lot of women in their 80s and above have a lot to offer. You know, I read a magazine called Bed Sores. There's some alluring older ladies in there.
I don't know how we got down this dirt road, but I fear it was my doing. So let's steer this back to something more family oriented, right?
Let's
You're visiting. Why the
yes.
bloody heck are you here?
Well, first I'm here to see you and
First.
see how you're doing with the Creature Features legacy, and you're doing awesome. So,
But the
obviously-
actual reason you're here,
the actual reason I'm here was to as you know, because you were there,
Right.
was to host Up Late with Bob Wilkins at
The
the
new
Orinda
movie.
for Creature Features Day,
Right.
On the 24th of
on
April.
Orinda, which was a very fun time.
It was amazing.
It was a
and
success.
Everyone was, well, mostly a success. There was that one thing that happened.
The one thing. We
that
shall
was
not
so-
mention the one thing.
We shouldn't, because I feel like there's still an investigation happening. So we really shouldn't talk about the one bad thing that happened. But other than that, the movie was wonderful.
Right.
There was some imagery of Bob Wilkins that I've never seen before.
Right, and he's an
so-
expert on Bob Wilkins.
And some of it that I have seen before that's never looked so gorgeous. And this stuff was like on a 50-foot screen, and it looked amazing. Like Tom just outdid himself.
Tom has mastered the universe of computer operation. I'm convinced that
That's
he
right,
has...
because we're not making films anymore. We're making files.
No. Well,
we're file makers now.
He started out with films,
Yes.
you know, the old...
Sure.
He did
This
not even
kind.
have an electric motor. He had
Yes.
to like do this with his hands.
Yes.
And now he's like restoring films like George Lucas. He does it just like George
Yeah,
Lucas.
he's got his old worker ranch.
Right, that's right. All right. So you did that, and
Yes.
then when are you heading back?
Well, as soon as we're done here,
You're going to get on a plane?
I'm going to get on, if I can find Miss Mittens, I'm going to get on a plane, and I'm going to go back to Pennsylvania. I have my new studio there. I have OSI Studios in
Right.
Paradise, Pennsylvania. We do a pop-up drive-in movie there in the summertime, every second Thursday. And then I've got, my OSI 74 Roku channel, and I'm doing new cinema Insomnia. So busy,
Let's
busy,
put the
busy.
link up for that. How does one find the OSI Roku?
The OSI Roku. If you have a Roku, you search in your television channels. You look up OSI 74, and it'll pop.
You have to
right up.
download the app.
You have to have the Roku app on your TV. Yeah.
No, right. But you go into Roku and you have to get the app.
If you go to Roku, you just search it, and it'll take. If you just search the channel, it takes you right to it.
Oh, that's it.
That's
All
it.
right. No,
Or if
so-
you put Mr. Lobo Cinema Insomnia, it will suggest the channel.
And OSI stands for what?
Outer Space International, because all distribution companies don't make sense. If it's Universal, isn't it already international? You don't need Universal International.
That's right,
If it's American International, that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah,
If it's
right.
American and it's international, that doesn't make sense. So I thought, well, we already have American International.
Right.
We already have Universal International.
Right.
Those don't make sense.
Right.
Outer Space International certainly doesn't make any sense. So that's what I called my distribution company.
No, but it should all not make sense, it sounds like.
A little data goes a long way. Data knows best.
That's right. All right. Should we get back to this film?
If we must.
We
yes.
must.
All right.
Off we go. Back to whatever happened to Aunt Alice. Don't go away, please.
Yes, this is the one and only Russell Wild from Clearwater Beach, Florida. First time watcher, I noticed it and liked it. I'm wondering if you're a spinoff from the original Creature Feature, Dr. Paul Barrow, although your name is Creature Features. Keep on keeping on. Thank you so much. Bye.
Portions of Creature Features are brought to you by the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. Explore the mystery at winchestermysteryhouse.com.
Welcome back to Creature Features. We're watching Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice as we find out whatever happened to Mr. Lobo.
I'm right here.
I know, and it's wonderful. So this film, more bodies going into pine tree holes.
Well, I guess housekeepers make good fertilizer for pine trees.
So it's like the old pilgrim story where the Indians taught them to place a fish in the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
A housekeeper or a fish
Yes,
works
a housekeeper
to
or
grow
a
the
fish.
corn or pine tree.
Absolutely. And speaking of going into the hole, I think we should talk about horror hosting.
Horror hosting.
Where did it become a verb? Because isn't it hosting horror? Aren't we hosting horror?
You're absolutely correct.
Where did horror hosting come from?
I don't know.
Because people go, "Oh, I got into horror hosting." It's like
Perhaps it's like the Latin language where they put the adjective after the noun, right?
perhaps.
Like
You know, I
instead of
dropped
the
out
red
of school,
house, it's
so-
the house red, which makes
Yeah.
more sense,
Yeah, the house red.
right?
Yes.
Because you need the information that we're talking about a house before I tell you what color it is, right?
I
So,
guess
okay,
that makes
back to
sense.
horror hosting.
Yes.
So, no, I think we should start a campaign called
Yes.
"Don't Be Like Us."
Please don't be like
No,
us.
don't become
Do
a
you
horror
want
host.
to be a horror host? Stay in school.
That would be it. It could be
Listen
an
to your mom.
educational
Yeah,
thing.
like Scared Straight.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Don't be like us.
Because we're scary. We could scare them straight.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you imagine you and I going into a Denny's at 1 a.m.? No, the waitress would go back to the dishwasher and say, "You're serving now."
Yeah, they always sit the horror host like way in the back, you know.
Yeah. We are treated, and the waitress never
Yeah,
comes.
yeah.
Never brings our food. And when the food does come, it's cold.
It's true. They usually spit in.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did not know that part.
That's what the foamy stuff is.
They
Yeah.
would never
I
do that
usually-
at Denny's.
I usually eat
though.
around.
They would
it.
never do that at Denny's.
Oh, no.
No, just
Especially if
just
they're
the,
sponsored.
the greasy spoon, the mom and pop greasy spoons do that.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I guess I need to start eating a nicer
So,
restaurant.
what would be a better career choice than horror host?
Well, let's see. Because a horror host. Because honestly, I feel like you know, you were a rock star. You're too talented to be a horror host.
I used to be, but no more. I stopped.
So I think like a good career for a horror host, you could be like a clown at a birthday party. You know?
I have the shoes.
Yeah, you know,
No,
I think
I
that's
could
a
do
good.
it.
That's a good
I
thing
could
to
do it.
do because you already have you've got the makeup.
Right.
You know, I can't make balloon animals though, so I don't know.
You
if
know
that would be
what I
good.
think would be a better career choice in
Yeah.
horror hosting is the bloke who drills the holes in the top of the salt shakers.
Oh,
That
right.
would make more
right.
money than doing this.
Yeah, but you know, I'd be a little mad because the guy who makes the pepper salt shaker does less work.
No, he's a mechanic. He has to design the pepper mill.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
that's
all
a
right.
complicated device. That's 2 steps up.
Okay. All
from
right.
the
Okay.
salt shaker
all right.
bloke.
Well,
Right now.
see, you know about these things.
Well,
This
you know,
is-
it's a craft in the UK. No,
So
it's-
honestly, horror. If you, now, honestly, why are you doing this? Why are you a horror
I have no
host?
bloody idea. No. The way it happened was there was a program, a rock and roll show.
Yeah.
And when I moved to town, they said, "Will you come host a rock and roll show?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, "No, I have no interest in rock and roll because I was done with it." So,
Right.
but I knew that they had this horror movie show that they were going to cancel, and I
Yeah.
said, "I'll do that instead." And they said, "Great, we shall call it Creature Features," because there used to be a show called Creature Features.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So it went. So I'm still
well,
doing it.
I think it suits you because ultimately, you know, you get to be a companion. You know, you get to have all those friends out there who want to watch a movie with a cool, righteous dude like yourself on a Saturday night.
Compliments aside, I like everything you said. No. And so no, I don't do it because I'm cool. I do it because they're cool.
Absolutely.
Right,
Absolutely. You know, it gives us something to do. They're keeping
I think
us
it'd be
company.
cool if we got back to the film.
All right.
All right.
That would be cool.
Off we go back to whatever happened to Aunt Alice, 1969. And before you put this film down, just remember, you probably were not around in 1969. I was.
I was possibly.
Off we go. See you soon.
Hello, this is Mr. Livingston. It would appear I have been tasked with requesting you to help our show financially by visiting our Patreon page. Your generosity will help us keep Creature Features on the air. With only a few dollars a month from you, your kindness will allow us to continue creating new entertainment for your viewing pleasure each and every week. And if you have the desire to give more, you might even receive a gift from Tangela. I think not. Please visit the website below to learn more. Thank you. You know, those would be better used on the living, particularly Handel. This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
My God, it's coming down like cats and dogs.
Those birds really don't like this movie.
You know, I don't think that's a valid theory. The birds, and the birds go to sleep at night.
Not
They
if
don't.
they're really,
they don't
if
poop on my rooftop at
if
night.
the old ladies are supposed to be feeding them and they're killing
No.
people, and so they're
This
mad.
is actual rain. I know the sound
Oh,
of
it's
rain.
raining?
on
You
my
think
own.
it's
Of
raining?
course it's raining. We're on the coast.
Oh.
It's always rainy in Bodega Bay. Not always, but sometimes.
It's very poetic.
Most of the time. Sometimes. No, only when I have a good guest on. That's the way it works, right?
Yeah, let's hope one shows up.
Let's talk about this film. So in this film, I'm told by our director Tom Wersch, Ruth Gordon is wearing a red wig the entire
It's
time.
something. Yes, she is.
A red wig? No, it's
Yeah.
not. Would you wear a red wig for an entire film?
Well, you know, if the money was good.
Well, she's Ruth Gordon. I mean, she's worked with Clint Eastwood.
Did anybody notice this wig? Did the critics say anything about it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I imagine they would say something about the wig, but I cannot recall
Because
what they said.
I heard on the subject of the red wig is that one of the reviewers said that she looked like a giant peanut throughout the
A
thing.
giant what?
A peanut. Yeah, I thought that was pretty salty myself.
Oh. Well, you know, she was rather elderly when they did this film. Why would they say something about an old woman like that?
elderly? I feel like she just came out of the womb collecting
That's an
Social
interesting-
Security.
I think you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see a photo of young Ruth Gordon. Maybe we'll put up a
Yes.
photo of young Ruth Gordon. Because
But
I've
not
never
a
seen her
salty
young
one,
either.
please. What?
I've never seen her young either.
I've
No,
never. either.
there's a whole group of actors that I suppose they never became famous until they were old.
They did really good in radio. They were
Oh, is that
hot
it?
stuff in radio. Yeah, that's
I
my theory.
bet she was a vixen when she was younger.
She might have been. She might have been one spicy peanut.
That's
Back
right.
in the day, absolutely.
How do we find out about your Cinema Insomnia show? Can we go to
I'm
the website?
glad you asked. Yes, you know, I've been embarrassed of my website for years and years, and
Right.
finally, one of my fans out in Vegas, his name's Scott, and he bought one of my spinners, my
Right.
hypnotic wheels from my show.
Right.
So I call him Spin Master. So Spin Master Scott is my webmaster, and we have a brand new, beautiful website that I'm actually proud of. That
Let's
looks
show it
great.
off.
CinemaInsomnia.com.
CinemaInsomnia.com. It's a wonderful name.
Cinema Insomnia?
Yes.
You know, it's interesting because it has a little bit to do with Creature Features.
Right.
We wanted to call the show Insomniac Theater.
Right.
And then we found out a lot of ABC stations overnights were actually already doing that, calling the overnight movie Insomniac Theater. Like, well,
Right.
that's not very original.
No.
I thought, well, what was cool about Creature Features? It's sing-songy, right? Creature Features.
Oh.
I thought,
Do you have a
Cinema
sing-songy
Insomnia.
opening theme like we do?
Not as cool.
Well, it doesn't have to be as cool. It just has to be sing-songy, right?
It's got, you know, Stan Fong does our music, and it's pretty rollicking. It's not quite as
I like rollicking. No,
as
sometimes
yours,
rollicking is more important than cool.
but, you know, but it definitely you'll tap your toes to it.
All right, I'm going to watch it tonight. All right, let's say we get back to this film and finish it up, and when we come back, we're going to find out what you're doing next, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
You are doing something next.
I'm always doing something next.
All right.
Aren't we all?
Well, I just hope you're not going to stay in that chair all night.
I can sleep.
We're going to
here,
do
right?
dinner next.
Oh, okay. We'll do dinner.
All right, off we go. See you on the other side of Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice. And do not go away during the credits because Tangella's coming, and you want to see her more than you want to
She's
see
the real star.
a couple
Absolutely,
of
they
ugly
want to see
blokes
her.
like us, right? All right, off we go. See you soon.
This brief moment of tranquility has been brought to you by Nightscape. Relax and sleep better every single night with this and other videos from our free YouTube channel. Learn more by visiting nightscape.co today.
So the pine trees uproot and display
Her plans were uprooted.
plans for uprooted. What do you think of this film, Love? You liked it? Why? Oh, she's going to be just like the old woman when she's older.
But she's going to be a lot nicer to dogs. Right?
You know, she loves dogs. How many dogs do you have now? She can't even count.
Wow.
She has too many dogs.
Yeah, she kicked off her shoes when she was
No, we
kicking
have
those
this
dogs.
thing we have to do before we tape the show now,
Yes.
where all her dogs have to be moved to a special kennel I had to finance, just so we weren't hearing barking, so we could actually hear the rain or bird
Yeah.
droppings, as he claims.
I know some people are afraid of Tangela, you know, because
Afraid of this one.
Sometimes she could be a little feral, but I've always found that her bark is worse than her bite.
Oh, you need to get to know her a bit more. then you'll know the truth. No, go speak to Andrew. He'll tell you. He'll tell you the truth. No. You know, John Provost, Timmy
Yes,
from Lassie.
Absolutely.
She tortures the poor man.
Oh no.
No, she launches cassava melons in a trebuchet towards his home, which is down the bottom of the hill. No,
That's not fair.
He came up with a bill to repair a dent in the roof of his car.
Timmy's the original dog person. How can you do that to him?
No,
Tangela?
she only launches things through her trebuchet to people she likes.
Oh, that's why she threw me in the wood chipper the last time I was here.
Well, that was a stunt. That was quite a stunt, though. It's well done.
I mean, I had to get stitched back together. That was no stunt.
No, that was fun. All right, so what is Mr. Lobo doing next?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I am going to be going back home, and in Paradise, Pennsylvania. We're in Pennsylvania, in Paradise, where my studio is at. We're going to be doing a pop-up drive-in in the parking lot.
Oh, nice.
Every second Thursday from May to October.
Right.
And so we put up a big screen, big 30-foot screen, and people can drive their cars in and listen on their radios.
How fun.
And we give out prizes.
So
and
our
have a great
Pennsylvania viewers must go to Paradise.
Yes.
Where is that next to Pittsburgh
It's
in relation?
I would say far from Pittsburgh, closer to Lancaster, like
Close to
between
Lancaster.
Philly and Lancaster.
How close
An
are
hour
you
from Philly.
to the Night of the Living Dead graveyard?
That's probably 4 hours or more
4
away. Yeah,
hours,
but I go there a lot to that graveyard
I
because that's
go
where the
there every
good
day.
zombie action's good. And they
Right,
have a wonderful museum at the Monroeville Mall if you ever get out that way.
No, I so plan to. And so you're doing the pop-up,
I'm
and then
doing the
also you
drive-in,
said you're doing
yes.
a podcast type thing, right?
I am on Twitch every
Twitch.
Saturday night. I'm on Twitch. I do a live Q&A
A
with
live
people
Q&A.
every Saturday at 9 or 10 p.m. at night, depending.
East Coast time.
East Coast time, so
Right.
7 in the Pacific.
Right.
And maybe, other times in other
Right.
time zones.
So, but if you go to the website we gave, which was
Yes, which was cinemainsomnia.com. You'll find all about all of those things.
Right.
And then on Saturday nights, I can ask your questions, and then we'll watch one of my episodes together, and I will still be there and chat and talk to
Oh,
everybody.
how wonderful! We should do something like that.
You should. I think your fans would appreciate that.
She's so picky sometimes. Yeah.
It's-
She likes to do things. She likes to visit with fans, but not like with technology. No, well, it requires because she'll actually speak to some of our friends at home.
well,
But
that's-
she whispers. It's
Yes.
this thing she does, and you cannot whisper over.
You can't whisper. It's hard to whisper
Right,
to you.
she cannot
into your
whisper on the
computer.
television,
Yes.
but sometimes she creates these cards where she handwrites offensive messages. No, for
Well,
such a tiny thing, she has a very colorful
Vocabulary?
Set of, no, lexicon.
Oh, letter.
A lexicon.
A lexicon. Yes, I drive a lexicon. I had to park it.
No, that's not. It's a Lexus.
Oh.
All right, so I think that's it, right?
That's it. Why
All right.
not?
All right.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Next time you're in California.
This has been a pleasure. It goes by so fast. I always love watching a movie with you coming out to the mansion.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have to do this
Anytime.
more often.
Well, anytime you're here, you need to like leave your state and come to ours because I cannot bring the Polter Mansion to you. So you need to come visit us, all right?
Fair enough.
The door's always open for you. As far as you guys go, thank you so much for staying up and watching this silly film with us. At least the guest was not silly, right? Yeah, you're a bit silly.
Pretty silly,
He's a little
yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
But a fun movie next week. We have another guest. Next week we have Pamela Ferdin.
Oh,
Pamela Ferdin's flying up to see us.
Yes.
And if you're wondering who
Will she
Pamela
do some
Ferdin is,
cartoon voices for us?
I don't know. She's not for you. You're going to be gone.
Oh.
He doesn't get to meet her. Anyways, thank you so much for watching our program. We will see you next week. And don't forget, we love you. See you next time. So, Mr. Lobo, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how I could possibly grow my audience to a size like yours.
Well, I have a good suggestion for you. You know, you might need someone in a suit sitting in that chair, like Livingston.